Remember when phones looked like this? It's coming back. The last time we saw these was about 2004, when this Motorola Razr was the coolest thing on the planet. Now, let's just say I bought this for 15 bucks on Craigslist yesterday and the guy couldn't believe I wanted it. But there's a new breed of feature phones. You know, the flip phones and the candy bars and really anything with a keypad instead of a touchscreen that does way more than make calls. This is the Nokia 3310, a remake of one of the best-selling phones of all time, now with Facebook and Twitter and a web browser, and yes, Snake. There's also the Nokia 8110, an upcoming remake of the cool slider that Neo used in The Matrix. The 8110 and a lot of other new devices, like this one from ALCATEL, run software called KaiOS, which is a really light, web-based operating system designed specifically for these really inexpensive phones. Okay, so why are these coming back now? Because more than 1 billion people still use dumb phones, especially in developing countries, and now they need more than calls and texts. There's also a new group of people. They're looking for a phone that's not as addictive as their iPhone, something like this light phone as a secondary phone for vacations or weekends. It helps that these smart-ish phones cost less and they're less taxing on your data plan. They also tend to last for a week on a charge, not a day or less. It's a compelling idea. There are lots of reasons to want a phone that isn't a smartphone, something that just does the essentials. But that's the question. What are the essentials for a phone? No, I'm serious. What are they? You want to make calls and send messages, but these days, in addition to regular text and email, you kind of need WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger. The KaiOS team says it's working on that, but for right now, it's still a little too much to ask. You also want a way to get around, especially when you're traveling. Some feature phones already have basic navigation, and the Nokia 8110 and other KaiOS phones run Google Maps. But is that enough? Don't you also need a really good camera? And Spotify, YouTube, and Netflix for music and videos? Candy Crush? Lyft? Snapchat? Smartphones do so many things that it can be hard to figure out which ones we're all willing to live without. And after using a touchscreen, thumbing around on a web page is just frustrating. And don't even get me started on T9 typing. The good news is you don't have to type at all. Some of the best of these almost smartphones actually take voice commands and even use Google Assistant. It's really the best way to text in general, at least once you get used to saying, "Hey mom, comma, how are you?" ? Anyway, these phones are an important new thing for potentially billions of people, even those who already have a smartphone. I like this 3310 already as a weekend option, so I can ditch those nagging notifications without going totally off the grid. There is another alternative, and it won't cost you any extra. Try dumbing down your smartphone. Uninstall most of your apps, then only download one when you really need it. You'll be surprised how rarely that happens. And who knows, you might find yourself wanting something a little cheaper and simpler and more durable and longer lasting. And honestly, is there a better way to hang up on somebody?